What up? What up? What up? It's the Funk Doctor Spot back in the building with another episode of CT Baseball Championship Week Live. I'm on with my main man, Coach Emmett from Milestones Baseball Analytics. Coach E, what up, though?
What's going on with you, Coach? The championship edition. We got some games to
Championship
get. We got
Edition.
some games to get to.
Yes, sir. Also, Senior Night Edition as well.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start this show off on May 6th. That's Wednesday. That's senior night against the Taylor High Varsity Griffins. Cass Tech varsity technicians fall to the Taylor High Varsity Griffins 4-2 on Wednesday. Taylor High Varsity Griffins got on board in the top of the third inning after Chauncey Atkins singled into center field and Seth Anderson doubled down the left field line, each scoring one run. Zach Revere earned the win for the Taylor High Varsity Griffins. The right-hander pitcher gave up 6 hits and 2 runs over 6 innings, striking out 4 and walking none. Juan Torres took the loss for the Cass Tech Varsity Technicians. The starter went 5 innings, giving up 4 runs, 1 earned, on 6 hits, striking out 5 and walking 2. Emmett Mitchell II went 2 for 3 at the plate and led the team with 2 runs batted in. Chris Hooper stole 3 bases. The Cass Tech Varsity Technicians ran wild on the base paths, accumulating 6 stolen bases for the game. Atkins led Taylor High Varsity Griffins with 2 hits and 4 at-bats from the leadoff position. Taylor High Varsity Griffins stole 4 bases in the game.
Wow. So this was senior night, and when you look at some things from a distance, like the fact that we had 9 strikeouts, our pitching staff had 9 strikeouts, it would seem as if this would have been a game that we won. In addition to that, we only walked 3 batters. The issue or the tale of this particular game is the fact that we had 7 errors. We don't commit errors at that alarming of a rate, and this game was uncharacteristic of that. And I'm inclined to believe that there was a lot of energy and anxiety that a lot of our players didn't know what to do with because it was senior night. Juan pitched a very good game. He only gave up 1 earned run. I mean, we had 7 errors. That was the game. It's really not. It's not too. It's not. There's not a lot to talk about here. We only got 6 hits. That's uncharacteristic. Remember, I always say that we want to be around 8 or 9 hits. If we're around 8 or 9 hits for the game, then we're going to get our walks. We would be okay. But we had 6 hits and we only walked once. So getting on base was difficult. Now, this is what I will say. The kid, Revoir, he pitched a very good game. He wasn't overpowering, but he had good stuff. He was crisp with his fastball. He mixed up his pitches. He was very good. He had a very good game. I'm not going to say he's a good pitcher, but he had a very good game.
Very deceptive on the mound, can
Mhm.
hide pitches behind his head before he throws it, before the batter can see it. Um, kind of interesting. I like the style.
Yeah. And in addition to that, Juan pitched a good game. He gave up 6 hits, but he only gave up 1 earned run. He only walked 2. He had 5 strikeouts. Kumasi came in and pitched 2 innings of relief, gave up no hits, no runs, no earned runs, of course. 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. This was Kumasi's best outing to date.
He had
Uh,
everything working. The curveball was working good. He
yeah,
was able to sneak his fastball in on the hands to be able to strike batters out and use the curve as a third pitch strike. So Kumasi was very solid on the mound.
absolutely. The kid for Taylor did something that a lot of teams have not been able to do. They they kept our top three hitters. They were 1 for 11 in the game. That's rare. That generally doesn't happen. We had 6 hits on the game. We drove in 2 runs. Emmett Mitchell II actually drove in both runs, and that's a good thing. But you don't want to be in a situation where there are no opportunities to drive in any runs because there's no one on base. We simply didn't get enough base runners in this game. 6 hits, 1 walk. So that's 7 base runners. Let me see how many errors Taylor scored. Errors they made. They made 1 error, so they weren't giving up. They weren't giving up any free passes, and that was
Taylor normally plays stingy defense. I've never known a Taylor team not to play defense, and they put the ball. They are methodical in punching the ball in play and waiting on you to make a mistake.
Yeah. So he was able to get out of there with going under 100 pitches. And then they brought in the kid LaForce, who was the shortstop. He had decent velo. He was pretty good. But again, we hit pitching. The pitching that they had that we faced against Taylor, we normally punish that. And we didn't. It was just an off day. I just blame it on the seniors having a little bit of anxiety, or they were a little anxious. It's senior day, but we were still able to enjoy senior day and celebrate our seniors after the game. It would have been awesome to get the win, but we move on to the next one.
Absolutely. So now we move to Thursday, May 7th. Competitive game ends in a walk-off as Cass Tech varsity technicians fall to Melvindale varsity Cardinals. 8-7 on Thursday at Melvindale High. On the final play of the game was tied at 7 in the bottom of the 8th when Congiero scoring 1 run. Cass Tech varsity technicians lost despite out-hitting Melvindale 12-5. Chris Hooper led the Cass Tech varsity technicians with 3 hits. Hooper singled, scoring 1 run. An error and a double by Emmett Mitchell II helped Cass Tech varsity technicians extend their early lead in the 3rd. Melvindale varsity Cardinals tied the game in the bottom of the 5th thanks to a ground out from Ochoa and an error. The Cass Tech varsity technicians captured the lead 7-4 in the top of the 6th after Jelani Jabari singled to center field. Juan Torres grounded out, and Hooper singled to right field, scoring 1 run. Melvindale varsity Cardinals tied the game up in the bottom of the 7th thanks to 2 singles. Melvindale varsity Cardinals tied the game at 7 on a single by Reyes. Mitchell II began the game for the Cass Tech varsity technicians. The pitcher gave up 2 hits and 4 runs, 2 earned over 5 innings, striking out 9 and walking 3. Muniz stepped on the hill first for the Melvindale varsity Cardinals. The hurler gave up 12 hits and 7 runs, 1 earned over 8 innings. Striking out 2 and walking 3. The Cass Tech varsity technicians piled up 12 hits in the game. Torres, Mitchell II, and Hooper each drove in 2 runs for the Cass Tech varsity technicians. Kyrie Kumasi and Jaden Mobley each collected multiple hits for the Cass Tech varsity technicians. Kumasi stole 2 bases. Jordan Ford provided pop in the middle of the lineup and led Melvindale varsity Cardinals with 2 runs batted in. The catcher went 1 for 3 on the day. Reyes led Melvindale with 2 hits and 4 at-bats. The Cardinals had patience at the plate, accumulating 6 walks for the game. Muniz led the team with 2 walks each, and Muniz stole 2 bases. Melvindale Cardinals turned 2 double plays in the game.
So this game was more characteristic of what we do game in and game out. 12 hits, 3 walks, so that's 15 guys on. We only struck out twice in this game. We scored 7 runs. That was enough to win the game. We needed to make some plays down the stretch that we didn't make, and that's going to happen from time to time. And they did not earn 8 runs. They earned 6 runs, and pitching was really good. Emmett Mitchell II pitched a whale of a game, 9 strikeouts, 3 walks. He only gave up 2 earned runs. He only gave up 2 hits. So I'm very satisfied with that. I mean, 89 pitches, 51 strikes. That's about 58% strike ratio. That's what we need. And we're going to need Emmett Mitchell II, especially in the playoffs, to really duplicate his performance in this Melvindale game. He was composed. He did all the things that we asked of him. He gave us 5 innings. It took him 89 pitches to get there. That's fine. Jaden Friday came in and pitched 2 2/3, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Not Friday's best performance, but he was still good enough to win the game. It was a couple of plays that we probably should have had, and we didn't make those plays. And I think that kind of that determined the game. It was a game that never should have went into extra innings. We ended up going into 8 or 9 innings in this game, and we never were supposed to get there. We were dominating this game at one point in time. Let me see. At one point in time, the score was 4-0 in the third, 4-2 in the fourth, 4-4 in the fifth, and then 7-4 in the sixth. So at one point in time, we had a 3-run lead going into the 7th inning. We gave up 3 runs in the bottom of the 7th to allow them to tie the baseball game up. We got nothing in the top of the 8th, and then we gave up a run in the bottom of the 8th to give them the game. The 3 runs in the 7th, the bottom of the 7th inning we can't allow that. We can't allow that. I can't remember exactly what took place leading up to the 3 runs being scored, but if memory serves me correctly, there were a couple of plays that we typically make, and we didn't make them. We have to always understand that when we're trying to close out a game, we're playing for outs. So you do everything in your power to get the outs. We will be better. I also would be remiss if I didn't say that Melvindale, their team from the first time we played them, has improved. They are getting better. They have a solid baseball team, and they are getting the most out of their talent. It's still a game we're supposed to win, though. But other than that, the bright spots, Emmett Mitchell II pitched a whale of a game. We needed that from him because we're going to need him down the stretch. So we needed to see that out of him. The 9 strikeouts was awesome. The 12 hits, we had multiple guys with multiple hits. Jaden Mobley had 2 hits. Emmett Mitchell II had 2 hits and drove in 2. Chris Hooper had 3 hits, drove in 2. Juan Torres drove in 2 on 1 hit. Jelani Jabari had a hit and drove in 1, and then Kari Kumasi had 2 hits. So the offense was there. The pitching was there through 5 innings, and we just didn't close the game out. And so that was the tail of that game.
So now we have a doubleheader with the King Crusaders.
Yeah, these were, just for the viewers, these were 2 games. They were blowouts, but they were a lot closer than they appear to be on paper. And that's just tipping our cap to King. In game 1, I don't think we scored our first run into the 3rd inning. And then we scored 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, and 4 in the 7th. We ended up winning that game 1, 11-1, but we struggled mightily. The pitching for King surprised us. They ambushed us with 2 arms that were solid. And they did walk a lot of hitters, but they were around the strike zone and they got a lot of punch outs too. In game one, we struck out 9 times. We did hit our 8 hit threshold. So I'm always okay with that. But this game, these 2 games were a little tricky because even in game 2 against King, it took us a minute to really get going. It wasn't until the fourth inning until we ran away with that game. So do you are you gonna read the recaps, or we just gonna go ahead and
Well, I just want to give shouts out to Zion Philly for striking out 11 batters on that day.
okay.
Um, got into a little trouble, and the freshman Ray Curry Jr. came in and threw 2 innings of scoreless ball for us. So just wanted to give them their flowers.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to the next one. This one was a double hitter because we had to make up one because of weather conditions.
Yeah, and this was the 15-0 game.
Correct. So we just want to give a shout out to Braylon Fields, who earned the win. The pitcher gave up 0 hits and 0 runs over 4 innings, striking out 8 and walking 3.
Braylon Fields continues to pound the strike zone, punching out 8 guys, continues to pound the strike zone, was probably around 56, 57% strike percentage in this one. And I mean, what more can you say, man? He is second on the team, only behind Emmett Mitchell, the second in punch outs. He has 31 punch outs on the year. Braylon Fields has done everything we've asked him to do. He kept the score down. We got out of there in 4 innings so we could get ready and get prepared for the City of Detroit DPSCD Public School League playoffs.
Yes. Also, shouts out to super sophomore Jaden Mobley. He led the Cass Tech varsity technicians with 3 runs batted in that game from the 9 hole.
Shout out to Jay.
Yes. So now we're at our playoff game against Renaissance. Juan Torres drives in 4 to lead the Cass Tech varsity technicians past the Renaissance varsity Phoenix 15-0 on Monday at Harwell Field. Torres singled in the first inning, scoring 2 runs, and singled in the third inning, scoring 2. The technicians jumped out to the lead in the bottom of the first inning after Torres singled, scoring 2 runs, an error scoring 1 run. Jordan Scott was struck by a pitch, driving in 1 run, and Braylon Griffin grounded out, scoring 1 run. The technicians added to their lead in the bottom of the third inning when Griffin grounded out, scoring 1 run. Kumasi grounded out, scoring 1 run, and Torres singled, scoring 2 runs. The technicians scored 6 runs on 7 hits in the bottom of the fourth inning. Scott doubled, scoring 1 run. Jaden Mobley doubled, scoring 1 run. Zion Finley singled, scoring 1 run. Kumasi tripled, scoring 1 run. Jelani Jabari double, scoring 1 run. And Chris Hooper single, scoring 1 run. Senior Chris Hooper earned the win for the technicians. The pitcher allowed 0 hits and 0 runs over 4 innings, striking out 8 and walking 1. Sounds like a no-no to me, Coach.
Yep. The the story of this game was Chris Hooper. We no hit the Renaissance Varsity Phoenix for 3 consecutive games this season. In a total of 3 games, they did not earn 1 hit against Cass Tech pitching. This was Chris Hooper's best performance to date, only walking 1, almost a perfect game. We hit our quota, 9 hits, a total of 13 runs driven in. We got 8 walks, so we had 17 base runners. We only struck out once. and Juan drove in 4 runs. Mr. Postseason. Last year in the postseason, Juan got hot. And this year in the postseason, Juan got hot. And we will discuss our matchup, our long-awaited rematch with the Western Cowboys at Comerica Park shortly after this. But just a little preview. Juan Torres was big time again in that game. And so he has been clutch for us in the playoffs for the last 2 seasons, dating back to last year when he was Mr. Clutch for us in the playoffs. So the 4 runs were awesome. Braylon drove in 2, and we had hits scattered about. But Juan was the only multi-hit guy on the day. And we got the job done. We did what we were supposed to do against Renaissance. They are not as strong without their best player, and so we did what we were supposed to do.
Absolutely. So now it's Ali Frazier, it's Hagler Hearns, it's Sugar Ray Leonard, Tommy Hearns. The battle for the Blue Division Championship at Comerica, May 13th. Cass Tech varsity technicians secure win against the Western International Varsity Cowboys 4-2 on Wednesday at Comerica Park. The Western International Varsity Cowboys opened the scoring in the second after Daniel Royos Castillo single scoring 1 run. The Cowboys committed an error which helped Cass Tech varsity technicians tie the game at 1 in the top of the third. A single by Juan Torres gave the technicians the lead 3-1 in the top of the fifth. Torres earned the win for the technicians. The lefty surrendered 4 hits and 2 runs, 0 earned over 7 innings, striking out 6 and walking 2. Johan Villarreal took the loss for the Western International Varsity Cowboys. The starter went 4 1/3 innings, allowing 3 runs, 2 earned on 4 hits, striking out 7 and walking 2. Torres drove the middle of the lineup, leading the technicians with 3 runs batted in. The number 3 hitter went 2 for 4 on the day. Torres and senior Kyrie Kamasi each collected 2 hits for the Cass Tech varsity technicians. The technicians turned 2 double plays in the game. Soto Ferreira set the tone at the top of the lineup, leading the Cowboys with 2 hits and 4 at-bats. Castillo led the Cowboys with 1 run batted in. The second baseman went 1 for 3 on the day.
So what jumps out at me is we struck out 12 times. We had 3 guys in the lineup strike out 3 times. And what that says to me is that Western's pitching was sharp. This was a low-scoring game, as they all are, and the team that makes the least amount of mistakes generally wins. In this one, they may have made they probably made a couple of less mistakes. They didn't make as many mistakes as we did in this game. But what we were able to do was get a dynamic pitching performance out of Juan Torres. He went 7 innings. He threw 89 pitches. He only gave up 2 earned runs, and he only walked 2. So they didn't get any free passes. And he 4 hit them. They couldn't hit the ball. We got more hits than they did. We had 6 hits, and 2 of those hits came from Juan, and he drove in 3 runs. The 3 runs driven in, he drove them all in. Jelani Jabari scored 2 runs. Beyond that, there wasn't much offense. Kumasi got 2 hits on the day and scored a run. And so it was a slug 'em out, drag 'em out, bare-fisted brawl that we came out on top of because we simply took the game. We took it. We took it with some great defensive plays and double plays turned in the 7th inning. They had their opportunities with runners on base, but we just refused to relent. We threw a guy out at the plate. we took some hits away up the middle. We turned a double play, and so we simply wanted it more, and we were able to get the job done on the biggest stage at Comerica Park, championship game. I would shout out the players that I want to shout out are Kumasi for setting the psychological tone coming right out the gate, hitting the baseball. Jelani Jabari for the defensive plays he made in center and the 2 runs he scored. Juan Torres for driving in 3 and pitching a masterful game. Chris Hooper for being a wall over there at first base. Emmett Mitchell II played excellent defense. Jaden Friday played good defense. And Braylon Griffin gave us a clutch hit late in the game that to let them know that our bottom was going to continue to fight. And Zion Finley called a great game.
Also was another key play was the relay from Jaden Mobley to the plate to get that out, that important out at the plate. He threw a BB to Zion, and Zion tagged him out, and it stopped their little run. So big shots out to the super sophomore for making that play.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to check that game out, you can check that game out on YouTube on the Prep Long Ball Live. Where they streamed the game. It was broadcast from Comerica Park, and that double play in the 7th inning just took the air out of Western, and that was the game.
Yeah,
back-to-back champs, Cass Tech baseball.
Back-to-back. The play that Jelani made with the catch over his head was clutch.
Yeah.
Emmett Mitchell II, man. They hit a ball, a missile in the 6 hole, and this kid lays out for this ball and comes up firing on a BB, and they called him safe on the play. But to me, it looked like the hustle in that play got him by a step, a toe. At least a toe. But I don't know.
The kid that was the hitter that put the ball in play, he kind of did a stutter step type thing where his foot was over the bag, so it looked like he might have beat the throw. But if you zoom in closely and you go really slow, it's as if he never truly touched the bag and he went over it, and the ball actually hit the mitt before his second foot touched the bag. It was a very interesting play, and but nonetheless, safe or not, it was one of the most exciting and dynamic plays that you would ever see at the high school level. A lot of people are comparing it to diving in the 6 hole, the Ellie De La Cruz play where he's diving in the 6 hole. And that wasn't the only play that Emmett Mitchell II made in that game. That was pretty spectacular. And but at the end of the day, those are the type things we expect from him, and we expect even more moving forward. Western, they only had 1 error on the day, but it was a crucial error that allowed a run across the plate. So big mistake, wrong time in the game, and on a similar play, while they made an error, we threw a guy out. Jaden Mobley throwing the guy out on the double cut and making a pinpoint perfect, accurate throw to Zion to apply the tag. So it was our day. We have to play this team again, more than likely in about a week, in about 8 days. Well, no, in about 2 weeks, we have to play this team again, probably in the district championship, provided that everything goes the way that it normally does. And so they will be prepared, and we will have to make further adjustments because it's difficult when you play a team this many times to beat a team 3 or 4 times in a season.
Absolutely. So just want to give a big shout out to this team, this program, and going back to back city championships for this program is huge. So just want to give a big shout out to the whole CT Village, uh, our skipper, Coach Melvin Jackson, and the rest of the coaching staff. It's just been a tremendous season, and we've been enjoying it. And God willing, we're gonna continue to see where this goes.
Absolutely. We started the season with two goals: to win the city championship, which we just accomplished, and a deep state title run.
Absolutely.
So, and we begin that journey on the 30th. We have one more game to discuss, and then we can talk about the preview of the two games that we'll play this week and on this weekend while we get prepared and ready to play, start the district tournament.
Yes. Cass Tech Varsity Technicians beat the Berkeley Varsity Bears 7-4 on Friday. Lamberson put the Varsity Bears on the board in the bottom of the second. Jelani Jabari single, which helped Cass Tech Varsity Technicians tie the game at 1 in the top of the third. Braylon Griffin gave Cass Tech Varsity Technicians the lead 2-1 in the top of the fourth. Jaden Friday earned the win for the Cass Tech Varsity Technicians. The starting pitcher allowed 5 hits and 3 runs over 6 and 1/3 innings, striking out 5 and walking 6. Schmitz took the loss for the Berkeley Bears. The reliever went 2 innings, surrendering 3 runs, 0 earned on 2 hits, striking out none and walking 1. Sirmo stepped on the bump first for the Berkeley Bears. The starting pitcher gave up 9 hits and 4 runs, 2 earned over 5 innings, striking out 4 and walking 2. Kyrie Kumasi collected the save. The technicians accumulated 11 hits in the game. Kumasi, Chris Hooper, Jabari, and Griffin each collected 2 hits for the Cass Tech Varsity Technicians. Jabari led Cass Tech Varsity Technicians with 2 runs batted in. The center fielder went 2 for 4 on the day. Zion Finley and Kumasi each stole multiple bases for the Technicians. Technicians stole 4 bases in the game. Leadoff hitter Sermo led Berkeley Bears with 2 hits and 2 at-bats. Lutz, Summers, and Lamberson each dove in 1 run for the Berkeley Bears. Sermo paced Berkeley Bears with 2 walks. Overall, the team had patience at the plate, tallying 7 walks for the game.
Yeah, we couldn't get Sermo out, the shortstop. His brother was the pitcher. And so the Sermo brothers, and he had a hit and a walk. The Sermo brothers were a formidable tandem, and they gave us the most problems. The kid the Sermo brother that started on the mound was a very good pitcher. Their relief pitcher, Will Schmidt, whom I know pretty well, is a very good pitcher. We touched him up a little bit, got a couple of hits, a couple of runs. But what did Berkeley in, because they're very young, Berkeley is very young, they may even start 4 or 5 freshmen. And so they're very young, but what did them in is the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 errors. We're going to capitalize on those. We're a veteran team. We had 11 hits, 3 walks. We had a lot of base runners. We only struck out 4 times. He was a tough pitcher, but we continued to battle and put him in play. That was the game. Friday started that game. 6 walks, 5 strikeouts, 5 hits, 3 runs, and 3 earned. Solid outing for Friday. He was right at that. He was a little under 50% with his strike percentage. We have to improve that. We cannot be below 56, 57% in order to be as effective as we need to be on the mound. And it appears that he was slightly under 50%. No, I'm sorry. He was slightly above 50%, 51, 52%. We need to be at 56, 57. And so we need a few more strikes. But overall, it was a good game for Friday. Kumasi was able to help us get out of there with the win. Just for those who didn't see the game, they Berkeley actually loaded the bases. They scored that we went into the bottom of the seventh with a 7-2 lead. They scored 2 runs, loaded the bases, and had the winning run at the plate. And we were able to punch them out to get the win. So we got out of there with the W. Don't want to bring the time. We don't want to bring the winning run up to the plate ever in a close game. But we got out of there with the win. And that was the last game, I believe, that we played. Is there anybody we need to shout out? Oh, yeah, Braylon Griffin, another 2
The
hits.
super sophomore Braylon Griffin. Yes,
Staying
sir.
hot. Chris Hooper, 2 hits. Jelani Jabari, 2 hits and drove in 2 runs. Kumasi, 2 hits. We had 2 RBIs from Jelani. We had 3 total RBIs in total. 3 runs driven in with balls put in play. 1 from Emmett Mitchell II, who also had a double on the day, and then 2 from Jelani Jabari. Only 4 strikeouts, so that's always a good thing. We got our 11 hits. Our quota is 8 to 9 hits per game, and we hit that quota. So tip our cap to Cass Tech baseball. Good job. Berkeley is probably not a very good baseball team right now, but they are not slouches by any stretch of the imagination. They have some pieces. They're just young. And so tip our caps to the Berkeley Bears.
Look out for them in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So now we have a game coming up May 20th against the Shrine Catholic Varsity Knights.
Yeah, we don't know much about Shrine. It appears that they beat the opponents that are put in front of them. So we don't have a lot of intel on them. One of the things that I will say is that we have one common opponent, and that is Cranbrook Kingswood. They played 2 games against Cranbrook at the end of April, and they both ended in 1-run games, 2-1 and 2-1. So we split with Cranbrook. So maybe Shrine Catholic Varsity Knights are a pretty formidable opponent and allows us to work on things that we need to work on and challenges. We will be playing them on the turf field at Memorial Park on 13 Mile and Woodward. Excited for an opportunity to get another game in on turf. That's always fun. And looking forward to Wednesday.
And now, hold on, Coach. I gotta change hats for a second. Hold on.
Okay.
You know what's coming up Saturday.
Oh, there we go.
May 23rd.
There we go.
At the Corner Ballpark, the Black Baseball Classic, sponsored by Black Baseball Media. We're gonna be playing against the Ecorse Varsity Raiders at 2 p.m.
Yeah, so again, back-to-back games on turf. Turf is fun for our boys. This is going to be an electric environment starting at 2 o'clock. When that second game rolls around, there will be vendors, there will be food, there will be free haircuts for the community. So you might want to be at the Corner Ballpark in Corktown, right off Michigan at the old Tiger Stadium on Saturday, starting at about 1:30 to 2 p.m. There is a game before us. I am not familiar with the opponents, so I am not at liberty to endorse that that would be a great game to watch because I don't know either one of the teams. And so I do know that Ecorse normally has a pretty solid team and is a formidable opponent for us. So that will make for a good game. They got some good arms over there that are going to challenge our hitters. It's going to be an exciting day. And the expectation is that there'll be a lot of people in attendance that want to see some good baseball. And I think that Cass and E-Course are going to give them the show that they're looking for.
Absolutely. I'm gonna be out there. I'm bringing some of the best young talent in our state come Saturday. We're gonna be giving out free haircuts to all participating players and to the PAL members, and
Okay.
they get in for free.
Wow.
So we're also gonna be also I have a couple special things going on as well. I'm gonna be doing an autograph signing for my book Swinging for Success, and also
Congratulations on that, Coach.
thank you, Coach. And also I will be giving away a special gift to a selected mentor who I'm taking up under my wing as a barber apprentice. So it's going to be real exciting to find out who that's going to be. And looking forward to seeing everyone out at the corner ballpark Saturday, May 23rd. Black Baseball Classic, Black Baseball Media. Let's get it.
Let's go. CT. Wednesday, we are at Memorial Park, 13 Mile and Woodward. 4:30 start time for that game on Wednesday against Shrine Catholic Varsity. Let's go. We let's get tuned up so we can get prepared to roll through these districts and make a deep state title run. This team is more than capable.
Absolutely. So that's it for this week's episode. We appreciate everybody for chiming in, and big shouts out to the CT family. Big shouts out to our seniors, our graduating seniors who are all going to college. It's a wonderful thing, man. And truly excited for each and every one of them. And we'll see y'all next time. Have a blessed evening. Peace.
Let's go, CT. Peace.
CT strong. Let's go.